Hello, it is day 7 of 21 Jumpstart. I cannot believe how fast this has actually gone. Let's dive straight into it today. I want to know what you are doing to think outside the box, because as a small business owner, you're going to have to get resourceful here, especially in the beginning stage. It's not all just going to fall into your lap. You are going to have to work for it, and you are going to have to think to yourself, what am I going to do to make those connections, to make sure that I stand out from the crowd, that I'm not a sheep and I'm not just following along and doing what everybody else is doing? Where am I networking? Where am I finding my ideal client? Because I'll give you the perfect example of this. As you know, or you may not know, but now you do, I have 3 small businesses, one of them being a trade business. It's a brick and mortar business. It's a trade business. We have a concreting business. And I can tell you right now, when we got started, the amount of phone calls that my partner made to builders, the amount of emails that we sent out offering our services, the amount of business cards that we dropped off in people's letterboxes, like we went all out. I have a digital product business. My first ever sale on that was on a Facebook group. And you know what? I still think Facebook groups are so fantastic for digital products. Anyway, moving on, my e-commerce business, I messaged all my friends. And I was like, hey, guess what? I'm starting a business. I'm selling portable Pilates reformers. Are you interested? Is this something that you think would be super cool? Obviously, the message was a little bit better than that. But I went out of my way to actually put myself out there. All 3 of my businesses are successful. They are. But it doesn't come from a lack of effort. It comes from an understanding of having to think outside the box. And I'm not doing anything groundbreaking and wild, but I'm also just not expecting things to just fall into my lap. Both my digital businesses, I didn't just, have the product and then post a piece of content and expect the sales to come and rolling in. No. And to be real, I still don't think that. You will still see me networking on Facebook groups. If you ask me a question, I will still give you the full rundown. I see someone in a public environment, like a shop, the school pickup, something like that, someone asks me what I do. You best be prepared that I'm going to give you a full rundown. And honestly, it just comes down to knowing your ideal client, which we're actually going to speak about tomorrow. But it comes down to knowing your ideal client, understanding what actually activates them and makes them want to buy and want to move, and then putting yourself in those situations. Put yourself in the room. Don't wait to be asked to come into the room. Put yourself in there. Just not being afraid to shoot your shot. Honestly, what have you got to lose? Now, the second thing that I want to talk about, that when I want you to think about thinking outside the box, is what you're selling. Because in a world where it is so easy to start a business online, so easy, you need to really understand and accept that you're certainly not going to be the only person doing it. There are going to be a lot of people. And therefore, you need to make sure that your products and your offerings, they're different. You need to make sure that what is your selling point? And how is it any different to anybody else's? So honestly, don't just be as entitled as thinking because it's coming from me. No, that's not it. Why is your way any different? How is your way going to be any different from anybody else's? What type of teaching are you going to deliver it through? What value does it provide? There are so many different things. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, hey, go do some crazy stuff, go invent brand new ways, go do all of that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just asking you to reflect on what you're actually doing to think outside of the box and get the needle moving in your business. This whole series, 21 Jumpstart, my aim is to actually provoke a thought from within you so that you can recognize the gaps and therefore close the gaps. Now, today we are going to have a worksheet. It's just going to be simple questions, but I don't want you to just be yes, no, righty-rah. I want you to actually have a good, deep think about this, because once you answer these properly and once you see the gaps, that's when you can close them. Once you close them, that's when things start moving for you. That's a wrap on today. Do the worksheet. Think about it deeply, and then come into Charismatic Creators and let me know what it brought up for you. That's a wrap on today. Have the best day, and I cannot wait to hear what this brings up for you.